Hello, I'm Steve Monkey Mason and welcome to pretty much a throwaway video. I'm working on the new show, Welcome to the Land of the Long White Cloud, podcast development. Not much chance to do review rant randoms and filming. I haven't done the good, the bad and what the fuck. I've been doing loads of them. So this one is basically this shelf. I've pretty much seen it. I'm going to try and make this video as quick as possible. I really need to set them up in A to Z order. I need to do a vinyl video as well. So I'm just going to grab them and do a quick I'm going to try anyway. So grab a handful. Dracula Untold, haven't seen that. This is obviously a D collection as I'm trying to A to Z them. Was pretty disappointed in that. Double Dragon, did the review for that, quite good. Dolan's Cadillac, never opened that. Based on a Stephen King, that. Christian Slater movie, really good. Got it on DVD. Doomsday, amazing movie. Sort of bit of family connection there. I don't know where I'm going to put these. Craig Conway steals the show in that one. Doom, HD, get in there. Blade, oh god, Dragon Blade. John Cusack, Jackie Chan and Adrian Brody, fucking, that was a bit of a pooper one. So, Sausage Party, watched that a couple of weeks ago, went to pictures to see that. I love it, it gets a lot of hate. It's got some fucking funny bits, a bit with the toilet paper and the used condoms, hilarious. Eden Lake, I haven't seen that since I found it back in a charity shop. But if you've never seen that before, check it out. Fucking bleak. Way of the Wicked, that's all the way from New Zealand. Christian Slater, never got released over here. Vinnie Jones is a star. Christian Slater is the Anne character, but on the Blu-ray in New Zealand he gets front billed on that. Another shitty film I got back, but it's a Joel Schumacher movie, Blood Creek. Michael Fassbender living as a zombie Nazi underneath the ground. Emily, I love this movie, it looks amazing. She is batshit crazy, but I'm sure it should be getting like a translation in English. When I was editing it and I was watching it, it's quite hard to keep a hold of. There's some amazing visuals in it, but it's mental to think the same guy directed Alien 4 as well. Pay the Ghost just got this back off MC Ryan. One of Nicolas Cage's better films. It's a nice little spooky story if you've never seen it. As I say, he's had that for a while. So a few of them I've seen recently. Popstar, never opened it. Amazing movie though, it's so funny. It's amazing how many cameos are in it, what's going down in it. Sorry, I've got a proper multitask. Say I'm multitasking stuff. Robot Chicken Season 5 unopened on Blu-ray from Made in Mexico. Never opened that. I don't think it's going to play. Bound, Christian Slater, also known as The Power of Few, along with Christopher Walken, who they worked, well, they didn't sort of work together in True Romance. It's about, if anyone likes the Tarantino style, it's about a car crash in the middle of the road and it follows Christian Slater, it follows Christopher Walken, and they keep coming back and the girl's called Few. It's better than Bound. Power of Few is a great name. Assassin's Creed, massive letdown, and Hateful Eight as well. Picked that up really cheap. I don't even think it's even open inside. Just firing through. As I say, the D section was out to Dorian Gray. I seen the trailer, thought it was going to be good, it was pretty shit. Next up, Van Damme, the collection. Obviously, AWOL, Death Warrant and Black Eagle have all been recently revisited for the good, the bad and the what the fucks. Out of them, Death Warrant's amazing. Black Eagle, cheaply made for the time, pretty much only still available now because Van Damme's in it. AWOL, Lionheart, whatever you want to call it. Red Sonja, had so many fun memories of that as a kid. Watched it back and I was like, is he Conan? What's going on? He's not Conan. Then the little kid, then someone's asking, this isn't what I remembered, but it's on my collection. Sabotage, great movie. I thought, you know, could have be done the 18, could be done the 18. It's great to see Schwarzenegger back to his fucking dangerous route. Safe, can't remember that movie. Again, there's an SS section going here, but that was just recently trailered on Summit as well. Season of the Witch had potential. Nicolas Cage along with Ron Perlman, 3D cover. Ooh, it's going to be sort of borrowing a bit from Lord of the Rings. Seconds Apart, seen the trailer for that, didn't deliver as well. It's one of the few films I fell asleep and then couldn't be bothered to revisit. It's a good review in it. Next up, we've got Seagal Collection, which includes Born to Raise Hell, Driven to Kill and The Keeper. I think out of the three of them, The Keeper was one to watch, but I'm sure this is part of Steven Seagal's series in America. Scream 4, didn't do a review for Scream when I did the 3 Screams. Sitting there on there, didn't need it. See No Evil, Kane, absolutely brilliant because the guy is a genuine giant. He's menacing as fuck. Jacob Goodnight. I wish they did a trilogy, but now he's Mayor Kane, isn't he? See, a lot of these just got chucked through. Jarhead recently appears in the Scott Atkins. Not out yet, but Scott Atkins, a good, the bad, and the what the fucks. It should be and Scott Atkins, not Scott Atkins, such and such, such and such, and Scott Atkins. Tournament there, that's not mine. It's the sent to somebody. Dynamo, haven't opened that. Sorry, Mark. Polar Express and the Holiday, they're Brits. They came in from the other room. They haven't been opened. She demanded I bought them at Christmas, and we've never watched them. And you've got to wait till next Christmas. Fast Times to Rosemount High. This was $2.99 at work. Obviously, you get a bit discount on top of that as well. Part of the Nicolas Cage, Good, the Bad, the What the Fox. Just to pick it up on Blu-ray. Must own because of Phoebe Cates. Topless. Wow. But I haven't revisited that since Blu-ray. He's actually called Nicholas Coppola in that as well. I don't think that tower's going to last long. So quickly going through these. Being John Malkovich, an amazing movie. I couldn't bring it myself to buy the reissue of Adam Academy. They just didn't do anything extra. Hudson Hawk has just come, but it's gone on the shelf. I'd only just done the podcast. I'd actually watched this on Blu-ray. I borrowed it off Casper because it's got no extra features. The transfer looked good, but couldn't bring it to myself to watch it, but picked it up really cheap online. Stretch, newest film I've probably seen. Really like this. It's from the director. Shift happens. From the director of Smoking Aces. Chris Pine's big star in this, but he doesn't get name checked. There's a lot of famous people with small cameos. He basically drives a limo around towns, owes a little bit of money. His client falls from the sky, wants to go to a cocaine party. There's fucking some really, really funny bits in it. It was £1 in Poundland, so if you see it, check it out. Stolen, massive letdown. Nicolas Cage. It says from Simon West, the director of Expendables 2. Simon West also directed Con Air. Nicolas Cage and Con Air. She slapped that on the box. It was just... Film starts, he goes to prison, right? And you think, this Con Air. And then he spends the whole movie going around Mardi Gras looking for his daughter in the boot of a car. And it's like, well, Dying Light of Day. Quite a good movie. Finds out that he's got a bit of dementia going on there, frontal lobe dementia, and basically wants to track down this guy who's avoided him for years and basically suffers from mood swings. Quite a good film. US Indianapolis. True story. Amazing that they used archive footage. Amazing they've got interviews with real people in it. Also from the Jaws, when Quint talks about being on the ship, everyone goes in the water. Special effects didn't look great on the boat. The sharks, however, the shark attacks are really good, so it's not a bad film. Directed by Mary Van Peebles. Left Behind, this got a what the fuck movie. It's very biblical. It's very Christianity based, about the snapping and happening and everyone fucking disappearing. Nicolas Cage is on the airplane like, what the fuck just happened? And everyone's running around. I mean, even Mini-Me is running around on the airplane, and it's just like, you know, it's like the Langoliers. Have you ever seen the Langoliers? It's like that. Next up, Blackwater. It says in the back of the box, what does it say on the back of the box? The quote is, the two powerhouse duo working together on the same side for the first time. That's wrong, as Van Damme and Lundgren were bad guys in Universal Soldier, Day of Reckoning. But yeah, basically Van Damme gets kidnapped, chucked on this submarine. It's huge. It's just a massive set. And then basically he's going to escape the submarine with the help of Dolph Lundgren. Swelter. These all appear in The Good, the Bad, the What the Fox. One of Van Damme's better films as the Van Damme character. Small town, has a sheriff who's got a bit of a dark past. 4 people break out from prison, come to find the sheriff because he may have something he can't remember. Quite a good cast and some really good shots in it. Pound of Flesh, one of Van Damme's better, newer films. Basically wakes up, missing a kidney. And he's like, what happened? And he goes on this fucking vengeance to track down who stole his kidney. And there's a stunt where he's got, I can't even kick that high, and I'm half his age. He goes to kick somebody, and he gets his foot caught on the windshield of the car and gets dragged along the street doing the splits. It's quite funky. The amazing catapulting with farm animals, Holy Grail. I might watch that tonight actually, because I fucking love the Holy Grail. I just revisit it now and again. But yeah, there they are, the Universal Soldiers, part of the Van Damme. That is a brutal one, hard to follow from its sequels. To Lundgren's back, Van Damme's back. Brutal as fuck. Then the same director, Scott Atkins, but then Van Damme's the baddie, paints himself half white, half black. Then Lundgren turns up, and you think, it is a total what the fuck movie. What else we've got going up here? Right, we've got Wild Card, found that really disappointing. Wedding Ringer, hilarious. Basically, I mean, he's gone massive now, Josh Gad, obviously doing the whole reunion things. And this is one what's slipped under the radar over here. But it's hilarious, about renting the best man for your wedding. It's so funny. Waterworld, Kevin Costner. If you look in the background, you can see Waterworld actually lives in my fish tank. Always got to have more than one copy. Vengeance, Nicolas Cage, pulls on the creepiness. But he basically won't settle for justice as he sees someone gets attacked and he goes out after them. A lot of these are quite harder, like I haven't seen for a while actually. X-Men First Class, revisited that. It had potential. Up, really found that amazing. Brittany made us watch it. Hey Doug. As I say, we've now got Up pictures in the hallway, Angels of the North floating across the ceiling. Amazing. Transporter refueled. Disappointing. Didn't need it. Didn't need it. Terminator Salvation and Terminator Genesis. Oh, I haven't fucking even got that. Again, that wasn't a bad sequel. It was going somewhere, but then suddenly suffered. Then this, I didn't know what the fuck Genesis wanted to be. Then obviously we've got the new one, and it's like holy shit, man. Whoa. Next up, 50 greatest wrestling moments. That was 50 pence in New Zealand, brand new at the warehouse. It works over here as well. Swamp Thing, disappointed with that. Really disappointed with Swamp Thing. Stargate, was listening to the company. I love the uncut version of it. I think it's got a lot more better things, especially when they're like, they know. Like in the original movie, they don't know. But when you watch the uncut version, they know that, you know, there's something else. There's another artifact at the start of the movie goes, look at that. There's something else. And you don't get to know. Space Truckers, had that in big box VHS for years. Sucker for a black box on Blu-ray. And it hasn't aged well. I mean, Charles Dance walking around with a robotic dick, which is wait there why But at the same time, Dennis Hopper had really hit big with stuff like Speed. He'd been a massive mainstream star for years, but at that moment in time, he was like kind of going to be in some action movies. Stephen Dorff would become the baddie in Blade, have a series of runs of films. Debbie Mazar had been big. Charles Dance, you know, he's been forever big. Big cast. Stuart Gordon just passed this year as well, bless him. Sleepers, amazing movie, big cast, mental. Because at the time, like Jason Patrick, since the Lost Boys, it just fell off the radar. And there you go, he just popped up, headlining a massive. Kevin Bacon's name checked first, but he's not even on the front cover. Robert De Niro, Dustin Hoffman, Jason Patrick, Brad Pitt, but it's packed full of additional cast as well. And he's just like, fuck me. Grim Story. Got to be seen. Rings, again, didn't need it. Bringing Rings back in a digital era. There we go. It's just like, yeah. The score, Robert De Niro, Edward Norton, and Angela Bassett, and Marlon Brando. Nice little film, done just along the Canadian border. Probably done the cheap, nice twists and turns. If you haven't seen it, it's a good film. Welcome to the Jungle. Really good found footage movie. Doesn't look like a found footage movie. That is on that shelf there because of the good, the bad, the what the fucks. Because in the UK we have a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie called Welcome to the Jungle, and of course we have the movie that's known everywhere else in the world called The Rundown, what's now called Welcome to the Jungle with The Rock in it. Then we have Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. But this is about cannibalisation on a little small town next to Fiji. If you haven't seen it, it is worth picking up. I'll just check my computer, guys. This is pretty much the video. Me, myself and Irene, I absolutely pissed myself. Recently, with this whole lockdown thing and some nights where I've been able to have a few beers while I'm editing, I've been hitting comedies on. The Hangover series should be on the shelf, but Hangovers are at the front there. Watched all 3 Hangovers in a row. The American Pies are also, they've been filed, but watched all 4 American Pies and just loving the comedy factor. I mean, myself and Irene, I think it's hilarious. I think fucking Jim Carrey is fucking brilliant in the movie, but there's the whole tone of it. So me, myself and Irene, Clash of the Titans. I don't mind the first one, visually it's stunning and all that, but then the second one you're just like, no. Best thing about Clash of the Titans was the original trailer. The editing on the original trailer they dropped, especially the scorpion hands coming down, it's fucking class. Right, you can probably see more than I've got. Now these would be a while ago. Red Lights, never seen it, quite a good film, nice twists and turns. It's about trying to like fake someone like Dynamo. Is he real? How's he doing it? Who's there? And it's, you know, it's all about being a skeptic and stuff. Last Blood, love the cover. Being in the pictures to see that with Carl and Casper, loved it. I think there was only those 3 in the pictures. Great little send off to the movie. Raid 2, had it on again, wasn't as good as the first one. The Punisher 1 and 2 collection on Blu-ray. The fucking second one's brutal as fuck. First one's really good as well. So we've got Pandorum there. I've got Pandorum twice, haven't I? Yep, Pandorum there. Pandorum, the unofficial sequel to Event Horizon, set in the same universe. I love it. A lot of people hate it. Pretty much Red Dwarf, the horror movie. Guy wakes up at a cryospace. His captain's gone fucking AWOL, can't find him, doesn't know what's going on. He's meant to do like a 2-year stint of driving this plane from across the other side of the universe for the human race. Because if you do more than 2 years, you go batshit crazy, you eject the entire people. What did happen? And yeah. Next one is Pet, quite a good film. Guy becomes obsessed with a girl, decides to keep her as a pet in the basement of his little work laboratory. Twists and turns, great little performances. Nearly finished. Only the Brave is next. Amazing movie. I didn't know anything about it. True story. Not spoil it. If you watch it, you'll be like, fucking hell. Once and Warriors. I mean, Brittany got back from New Zealand. Let's check this out, Brittany. Paints a bleak picture of New Zealand, but it's awesome to get a hold of. Isn't available on Blu-ray in New Zealand. And What Becomes of the Broken Hearted isn't available over here. Powerful film, but there's some amazing actors come out of that. There's 2 really big actors become famous over that. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Watched this at the pictures. It was a long sit. Went with Matt Davis and Britt. And then I watched it back again while editing, and it's just such a feel-good movie. Soundtrack class, what goes on in class. As soon as he hits that cigarette at the end, it just takes a turn. Old school, once again, enjoying them comedies. From the director of The Joker. And it's like, what? You know, I'll have to stop putting these back on the shelf, but no, it's good. 9.5 weeks, it was sale. I hadn't seen it before. I liked the soundtrack, the sex scene in the alleyways. I was like, whoop. But again, I wasn't paying too much attention to the story. Victim of editing, that one. Once Upon a Time in the West, I don't even know how that's on the shelf because I haven't watched it recently. But that is absolutely hilarious. There's some amazing funny bits, and obviously one of the classic bits is Doc hiding in the crossing over to Back to the Future Part 3. But yeah, a bit of a fucking random rant. I mean, there's a lot of people like, with my entire Blu-ray collection is fucking massive because my job is to look after Blu-rays. So like for years I'll be like, oh, I want that, oh, I got that. I've got some of the most randomest shit you can imagine. But like, it's weird, like sometimes films just disappear. You can't just walk in and buy it. Next up, The Lincoln Lawyer. Not a bad movie. I did get the poster of this, the huge movie poster of that, but it's still in New Zealand. Waiting for it to get that over. Seen the trailer for it, was quite looking forward. It was a bit of a letdown. Kick-Ass. Brilliant Kick-Ass. Paul Ray loves Kick-Ass. Paul Ray's going to turn into Kick-Ass running around the streets. Picked it up cheap, but also it's part of the Nicolas Cage. Just go with it. I do have this twice. Watched it again though, comedy. I think Jennifer Aniston's just absolutely timeless, just beautiful. The Jungle, I enjoyed that. I put that off ages. Director of Wolf Creek, but also Rogue. He's an Australian director. There's a bit where he pokes his head, because he just basically gets lost in the jungle. It's a survival movie, but it's really well done. And fair play to Daniel Radcliffe for some of the shit he's endured for this movie. But he pokes his head and this fucking centipede comes out and you're like, oh. But no, if you haven't seen it, it's worth a good watch. Jumanji. God bless Robin Williams. It's a anniversary edition. Picked it up. I always found the trippiest thing about Jumanji, I love the fucking monkeys on their own little mission. The bit where you can just see the line in the shadows before it comes through. I know it's an animatronic, but it's fucking startling as fuck. Next up, nearly finished, John Wick Chapter 3. Love the artwork of that. Jay and Silent Bob, a special edition one. I enjoyed it. Was a little low budget in there, but again, it needed to be done. So fair play to Kevin Smith for doing it. Actually just got this back off of MC Ryan. Get Out. Done a review for that. Clicking Teacups. iRobot. Tried to do the commentary a few times on that. Grosse Pointe Blank. John Cusack. Brilliant movie. Heavily trailer in the 90s that. But then wasn't what I expected. But again, you have to be a fan of John Cusack. Other movies like Better Off Dead and Say Anything like that. Because it was kind of like, you know, a new, like, pimped up version of that. Next up, Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, if you watch the first Fast and Furious and then you watch that, you'll be like, trying to fill in the gaps, you'll be like, yeah. Dead Again in Tombstone. So basically, Danny Trejo comes back from the dead. Is it Mickey Rourke's in the first one, just walking around this fire pit, torturing him with a stick? And Danny Trejo just keeps coming back, but then he keeps getting killed and coming back like the Crow. And they made a sequel out of it. It wasn't too bad. Death Race trilogy, actually just watched all 3 of them. It was bugging the fucking shit out of me when I got around to the second one. I mean, Paul Anderson, who did the first one, he's from Newcastle. I love the first Death Race. I love the score. The score should be released. Statham hits it home. Teresa's good in it. There's a few extras. Then this prequel comes along. It's called Death Race 2. But it's a prequel. And you go, I know how this is going to end. And it does end the way it's going to end. It shows you the rise of it. And he gets all burnt and shit like that. But again, it ties it in. Then you get the third one. And he's got no fucking scars. He's miraculously been healed. You're like, what the fuck? But the last in it as well. I was like, where do I know her from? Where do I know her from? And I was getting on her face. And now obviously I've got a massive poster of The Lost Boys 3. Cheap plug. Signed by Feldman and Newlander. And she's the last on the poster. I was like, it's fucking her. But yeah. Dumbo. All the Disney remakes, I was looking forward to Dumbo. It was a bit of a disappointment. And right, the last but not least, the last four. You've got the two kickboxers in there, the remakes. Vengeance and Retaliation. Vengeance is a remake of the original, but then obviously Van Damme appears in it from the original, as well as now. Tom Poe's in it. It's got some nice fighting scenes. Then the sequel comes along and fuck me, Van Damme's blind. There's fucking weird subtitles everywhere. Check out The Good, the Bad, the What the Fuck's are going to it. But in the second one you get Mike Tyson versus Van Damme. Then you get Van Damme versus Christopher Lambert and he's blind with a sword and it's like, what the fuck? Enemies Closer from the director of Time Cop. All shot in Bulgaria. Nice little movie. Van Damme's hilarious here because he's the bad guy. He's gone fucking nuts. It's all about like trying to get off this island. Last but not least, Max Payne. Watched this a few nights back. I ended up watching Striking Distance, this, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Benchwarmers 2. And I didn't know what the fuck was going on like this, but some of it is visually stunning. The last he denies is lying on his bed. You're like, you what? You what? What? But yeah, as I say, I'll try and think of an outtake. But yeah, that was just, it's been on my mind to do a quick throwaway video. No editing needed. Oh, there's one of them security tags. Supermarket looks like to stick on and rip your packaging up. But yeah, there you go. But yeah, see you in the outtakes. Now, I need to put them all back in alphabetical order eventually. Can I get them all back initially? I counted. I don't know how many that is. But no, I don't know how many Blu-rays I've got. I know a lot of people, my entire Blu-ray collection. It's like, oh man, I can't be bothered. Well, I'm getting old and shit, but there was so much shit to do. I mean, honestly, like, lockdown's been a bit of a blessing, to be honest with you. Because I've been able to, I've never been so on top of stuff. I say that right now. I've got free podcast master, a review for somebody else, a VHS, an episode. Oh, I think we're there. Now this. There's something else there, but normally I'd be about 3 or 4 months behind on my stuff. Literally, I mean, I love filming stuff. I know I don't go in depth, like change my camera angles up much. Because to be honest with you, by the time I get around to fucking editing it, I don't even remember making the videos. I get comments on YouTube all the time. They're like, oh yes, and that, and I'll have to watch the video. I'll be like, what are they talking about? I'll be like, what am I talking about? But no, I try to make them, you know, just different. There's a lot of new followers to the channel. There's a lot of new people giving us grief. It's just a picture. But again, what I like to do, more importantly of anything, is I love killing the boredom. I love it. It's better than fuck all. I love movies. I love collecting. I love, you know, I mean, my friend Casper has to have everything in supplier order. See, these would be alright. These would be acceptable as Casper, but the rest would be like, he would like, Momentum would have to be together. Then he would have to have Lionsgate with Lionsgate, Lionsgate with Lionsgate. So he'd go along, and if that wasn't enough, there's another Lionsgate. He would then start getting down to the nitty gritty. Oh, I got the gremlin. Didn't catch the fucking printer dog getting on my head. He always falls down on us. But yeah, he would then start doing the catalogue numbers as well. So, as I say, random little video. Oh, he's never going to be as funny as he was. There you go. I've been Steve Monkey Mason. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.
And now, the end is here.